Hello my friends, welcome back. Here we are at game number 2 between ATN Socke and Slayers MMA. This time we are here on Tal'Darim Altar, spawning here in the lower left hand spawn position. We have got our teal Protoss player, ATN Socke, and then down over here in the lower right hand spawn position, the red Terran player. Did I call him Terran? I hope I didn't. And then down over here in the lower right-hand position, our red Terran player is Slayers MMA. This is game number 2 here between MMA and Socke. Game number 1 going to MMA. Let's get a quick little recap here. Early game pressure from MMA in the form of Cloaked Banshees. His initial push didn't do too much damage. He got about 2 kills apiece for each Banshee, although we did see a follow-up push, and I'll mention that in the timeline in just one moment. So the early Banshee harass, and then we saw a counterattack there from Socke. Socke moved out with a couple Colossus. Now he did fairly well, was able to do some damage and then sniped out the third base of MMA. However, in retreating, during that time, he actually got his Colossus and a bunch of Zealots sniped out as MMA was able to meet him in the center of the map. It was at around that time we also saw one of the 2 Banshees that initially pushed move in for secondary harass, in which he got about 13 or 14 kills total, I believe. So that was very effective there, moving out with that Cloak Banshee at that time when Socke was pretty distracted. And that proved to be quite detrimental there for Socke, losing his Colossus in the center of the map while retreating from that first engagement that he pushed forward to. And then a second time, as he was moving to the center of the map, he only had 1 Colossus. MMA was able to meet him before the second Colossus pulled forward and sniped down 1 Colossus before that second one even came into play. And that was pretty much it for Socke at that point. Took some pretty hefty losses. Another thing, last game MMA was ahead in terms of weapons and armor upgrades, so that certainly comes into effect as well. Alright, let's focus on this game. Nothing too fancy yet. Actually, Assimilator up and not saturated at all. He is going to be trying to getting that expansion as soon as possible. Even delaying his Cybercore. Look at that, finally coming down with it. Delaying his Cybercore, realizing the SCV scout was in the main, gets to saturating. He's like, oh, nothing unusual is happening here. Let's make everything look nice and normal. That's really funny, actually. You notice he was delaying the Cybercore and hadn't saturated that. I'm assuming that was on purpose, but then when realizing the SCV scout was there, he's like, oh, got it, yep, it's normal. I'm not going Nexus first. No way. All right, kills off the probe there with his initial Marine. Second Marine pops out. Here comes the expansion. Will be another 1 Rax expand here from MMA. And again, we do expect this early expansion here from Socke. Let's see how he does it, though. Actually pulling out with an initial Zealot and a Stalker. We'll be moving forward for some early aggression. There's 1 Zealot already, so it will be 2 Zealots and a Stalker, and MMA is all over this. Gets a bunch of damage off. Zealot actually takes some base damage there. So not just losing all of his shields, actually takes some actual damage to his base life, and that's pretty awful. He did not want that to happen at all. Second Zealot and a Stalker coming through. Very, very heavy early aggression for relatively. All right, very heavy, relatively heavy early aggression here is what we're seeing from Socke. Normally, this is not standard, pushing out with this strong of a force early on. I know it's just 2 Zealots and a Stalker, but normally he would be getting an Expo right now, and there would not be a 4th unit in play. Yeah, this is he is going for it, man. He is really going for it here. Better do some damage or else. SCV scout moving in for MMA, realizing there's no Expo. Now he knows absolutely, he's absolutely certain that something is up. And as a result, he comes out with a second bunker. Now it is just going to be a 3-gate expansion, but he threatened that early pressure, and he still may come with it, actually. Got a pylon over here. Warp gate research getting close to finished. Also has that opportunity to drop the Expo. Now something else you got to keep in mind too is, in assuming that a lot of pressure is coming early on here, MMA is forced to respond by coming out with this additional bunker and making sure he's churning out those units before he techs up anymore. Although he is fully saturated on both refineries, so he's getting ready to tech up. That's most certainly the case. All right, here comes the expansion, opening up with that 3-gate, then going to the Expo. Socke actually now retreating with his Zealots. Warp gates are coming through. He does have this proxy pylon, although I don't expect that to come into play yet. Stalkers will just be guarding the front here. Actually, another Stalker will be pushing on over in this direction. Why is he so bold with the Stalkers? Well, because he really doesn't have to worry too much about MMA doing anything. He's got just Marines. No concussive shell or marauders yet, although he is coming out with marauder still without concussive shell. The stalkers can get away. Now look at this though. If you hadn't noticed already, there's a third base coming out here for Socke, building a third over here in this position, attempting to hide that, of course. Very, very risky. Of course, if it pays off, Socke is in a phenomenal position. If we, however, see a very strong 2-base timing push from MMA, Socke will be in a terrible position. Try and take out. Oh! Let's be careful. No concussive shell, though. Look at that. Manages to make it away, only taking 1 life damage. All those shields will recharge, and now Socke decides it is time to peace on out of here. Zealot and the Stalkers heading back home. We should see at least 1 unit probably grab this tower, or yeah, it's gonna just chill out here with the Stalker. So again, this is very, very risky. If Socke can survive long enough to get that saturated and take advantage of that extra income, then he will be in a phenomenal spot. Now we are seeing just racks here. Uh-oh. I'll tell you why I'm concerned right now. No factory yet tells me that we will be seeing just a bio timing push here. With stim pack, combat shield, and level 1 weapon upgrade, MMA will be pushing out once all of those things are complete, which if he is timed properly, which I'm assuming he has, should be around the same time. Now we will be working up a factory here too, but still, I do believe we will be seeing that timing push. Might wait for 2 medevacs, or might push exactly when this all finishes. You can see that stim pack will be finishing first. These things will be coming shortly thereafter. Let's see if MMA does decide to move out with that. Again, it is also popular to wait till you have 2 medevacs as well, but we'll have to see. Looks like he's going to be moving, at the very least, testing the waters here. SCV Scout gets taken out there by the Stalker. We have this expansion up, starting to get that a little saturated. We'll be working out. You can see those probes coming on through. Moving out with his bio, he grabs a tower, then pulls back. Feigning aggression here, and Socke is trying to prepare to deal with that. Got 1 photon cannon. Realizing he does not have a lot of army because of all the resources he's invested over here. Not only these extra workers, but of course how expensive this Nexus is as well. Bio takes out the pylon, and actually Socke deciding to be aggressive. This could prove to be a big mistake. And we'll be seeing medevacs very shortly as the factory with the reactor plus that starport again near finish. MMA is getting ready now to move into his third. So it looks like MMA did decide not to move out with that aggression as I had expected. He had the opportunity to. He certainly could have, but he decided not to. First 2 medevacs will be coming out in just 1 moment. Factory Scout is also going to be getting done over here as MMA moves across the map with that factory. Here come those first 2 medis. We got a pro moving on down. We'll be dropping a pylon over here, and then another one too. Quite possibly right over here. Scouting for that expansion, and then if not seeing it, maybe dropping a pylon. It's got that pylon coming down over here. Now we've got charge upgrades, armor level 2 coming out as well. Weapons level, no weapons are upgraded at all, actually. No weapons at all, just going heavy, heavy armor. Also, we will be seeing Archons likely come into play as we do have those Templar Archives done. Charge Zealot plus Archon, very, very popular composition. Of course, getting High Templar as well for that Psy Storm is also very effective as well. But I expect to see some Archons, unless he will be saving onto those just for energy. Here comes a drop. Moving out with those 2 medevacs filled up with bio. He's going to bypass Socke. Socke does not see it. Doesn't see it yet. He's got no idea that this is coming. And we'll be seeing those medevacs hit the back here in just 1 moment. Pro will be scouting when that expansion gets dropped. MMA is preparing to move out with that shortly. But here we go. First, the drop in back of the main. MMA's got a great opportunity to do a ton of damage. And here we go, stimming up. We'll be killing off a handful of workers and then going for some tech here. We'll be delaying the upgrades. Uh-oh. 1 forge gets dropped. He's going to get the second. Yes, he does. He gets it. Pulls back. He's only lost 2 Marines. He's lost 2 Marines, and that's it. It gets away without losing almost anything. Losing 2 Marines, dropping both forges which were coming out. With the upgrades, it was weapons level 1 plus armor level 3 that were being researched there. Neither of them makes it through. He will be forced to drop 2 more forges if he wishes to continue those upgrades. We still have the threat of these 2 medevacs back here. Pylon attempting to delay the expansion. That'll get force canceled. He doesn't even cancel it. Just takes the loss. Got some Ghost in play now as well. Weapons level 2 coming on through. He's got 1-1 upgrades already done. Patrolling Charged Zealots over here. So it is going to be Archon, Charged Zealot, and High Templar for Psionic Storm that we'll be seeing from Socke. But there is quite an impressive heap of bio here for MMA. MMA does have the size advantage. 83 supplies opposed to 68. Socke pushing out. He's going to take some EMPs. Massive EMP on almost all of his units. And stimming up, he will continue to chase. Nope, decides to pull back. There it goes. I knew it was just a matter of time. But again, we got all these Charged Zealots here on patrol, so whoop. He says, forget that. Gonna instead be moving on over, dropping in this position. The bio pushing on over here towards the 4th. He still doesn't know about this 3rd. He's got no idea at all about that. A couple Charged Zealots will be moving on into this expansion. Here we go, nice EMP. Finally, scouts the expansion. Drops his bio here to deal with it. We'll be seeing some Charged Zealots come on through. We'll see if that bot can deal with it. He took out this expansion, forced the cancel over there. And it looks like, yeah, he's muscling his way through it. More and more warp-ins coming through. Finally forced to lift off, but he did some fairly significant damage there. Take a look at those resources lost. Look at how far behind Socke is. The push is continuing. Lots of ghosts prepared to land some more EMPs here. Got some snipe action going down on the High Templar as well. No storm's been laid down yet. Uh-oh, stimming up bio, finally storming. He pulls back, only takes a little bit of damage there. Works his way through the rest of the units, and that not looking good. Charged Zealots managed to force the lift off over here. We got another drop taking place over here. Managed to take out a pylon, unpowering all of that. Continuing his push up at the front. Workers finally coming in to engage, but it doesn't matter. MMA just tears through the rest of that. Socke calling GG. Best of 3 series goes to MMA. Although Socke got up that early 3rd expansion, some nice drop harass from MMA that delayed upgrades really set him back. In addition to that, these engagements also went MMA's way, I would have to say. Sniping the High Templar, only taking 1 storm, and then with so many remaining ghosts, able to take out the rest of that, plus his bio. Great 2 games here from MMA, and a good attempt there from Socke. Unfortunately, didn't end up winning either game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the series. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks again, guys. Stay tuned for more StarCraft 2 commentary coming up, along with a whole bunch of other great stuff. Know what I'm saying? Take it easy, guys. I'll see you next time. Oh yes, keep watching and keep owning. Almost forgot.